What it do, everybody? This is Junior Zamron coming at you from Ukiah, California for another edition of Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews. On today's show, we're going to be talking about my trip to the Valley of the Sun. Then, we're going to be talking about my first Bobble Day in over 2 years. And then finally, I'm going to be talking about a brew that I brought back with me from Arizona all the way to California. So like the Suns were saying in the playoffs, it's time to rally the valley. Before we start the show, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Arizona Desert Glow. It's an online boutique that features fantastic items for that special person in your life. Now guys, if you're like me and spend a lot of money on bobbleheads and brews, you're definitely going to want to shop on their store and find the special gift for that girl in your life. You can get her the Sedona Red handbag, or some wonderful looking jewelry, or even handmade non-toxic soy wax candles. Now if you join their mailing list, you'll get 20% off your first purchase. But also stay tuned until the end of the episode for information on how you can win a gift card and a bobblehead. I also want to shout out the Thompson Mug Company, makers of the Dugout Mug. Now the Dugout Mugs are used baseball bats that are turned into beer mugs. How cool is that? Now you can get your favorite MLB team, or you can put your own logo on the product, just like what my wife did for me as a birthday gift. That's right, on the Dugout Mug, finally, we got the baseball, bobbleheads, and brew logo etched and burnt into the bat. It's fantastic. I highly recommend any true fan to grab one of these now before they sell out. Now, yet again, you can get any baseball team that you want or slap your own logo on this. Let's swing for the fences and get yourself a Dugout Mug. Now, I love the desert, and I first visited back in 2006, where I got to watch the A's play at the old Phoenix Municipal Stadium. I had the opportunity to meet Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, A's great Eric Chavez, and a few members of the swinging A's dynasties in Campy Campaneras and Ray Fosse. Now Ray, get well soon. I returned with the family back in 2015, and then I went back again in 2018 to celebrate my 10-year wedding anniversary. Now I always ask myself, did I die and go to heaven? But with the heat, it sort of feels like hell. But the good thing about it is that I have a few friends out there that help make it extra special. So definitely, post-pandemic, I had to return to the Valley of the Sun. Now, we participated in definitely the 3 Bs, but we also added a 4th. We had baseball, basketball games, bobble days, and definitely brews from multiple locations. First off, we hit the final regular season home game of the Phoenix Suns. They were playing the Portland Trailblazers, featuring Dame Time himself, Damian Lillard. Now, before the game, I was able to meet 4-time All-Star and Phoenix Suns legend Tom Chambers while he was doing the pregame show on Bally. That was pretty cool that you could get that close to the action. Now my buddy Jordan predicted that if Mikal Bridges and Cameron Payne can score 20 points each, that the Suns would walk away with the W. Now the game was insane because the Suns had 7 players score double-digit points. Going into the fourth quarter, they were up by 8 points and clearly had the momentum. That's until the house DJ decided to play some Mac Dre, who is a Bay Area legend. Fizz in peace, Mac Dre. Now, being from Oakland, the town, Dame Time was activated. And at that moment, I told my buddy, just like Uncle Roger says, that DJ fucked up. Because Dame Time went dumb, stupid, and hyphy, dropping 25 points in the fourth quarter alone, finishing with 41 points for the game. Now my buddy, playing the part of Nostradamus, wound up predicting that Bridges and Payne would score 20 points in the game, pretty much letting the Suns walk away with the win. Now, it wasn't that easy because there was a lot of fouls and reviews at the end of the game, which made the final seconds feel like anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. But in the end, Devin Booker hit the dagger free throws, giving the end result the Phoenix Suns winning 118 to 117 and spoiling the comeback from Dame Time. Next up on my Arizona trip were 2 Arizona DiamondBacks games which featured the Ketel Marte switch hitter Bobblehead. Now they were playing the Washington Nationals, and this is before their trade deadline fire sale. The 2 games that we watched, the teams split. Game 1 was won by the Nationals as they blew out the Diamondbacks 17-2. Then in Game 2, the Diamondbacks did a little blowout of their own, winning 11-3. Now, I was lucky enough to see friends on both games. Shout out to my buddy at Happy Hayes on Twitter, and then my friends Kara and Travis. Along with my host Jordan, you guys all made this trip so amazing. The Game 1 highlight was that during batting practice, I saved my buddy's life. You see, a hard hit ball was coming right at us at the end of batting practice, and it was going right at his face. I then stuck my hand out and caught it with my bare hand right before it hit him. He didn't say thank you, but that was okay because I wound up with a cool souvenir. As we were walking to our seats, I then ran in to Diamondback legend Mark Grace, a member of the 2001 championship Diamondback team. Now, after the game, I was able to walk down and meet Nats relief pitcher Kyle Finnegan. He was super cool, probably talking with a member of his family or a really good fan. So I waited around and he clearly called me over and took a couple pictures with me, and I greatly appreciated that. Now on to Game 2, my buddy Jordan got to meet his boy, Dalton Varsho. Before the game, I was trying to see if I can get Stephen Vogt's autograph because I wasn't able to get Vogt's autograph in Oakland, and I was hoping to get it in Arizona. Now, during the game, I would definitely cheer for Stephen Vogt just like we cheered for him back in Oakland, and it's the I believe in Stephen Vogt, I believe in Stephen Vogt, done by the right field bleachers. Shout out to the bleacher creatures in right field, like my boy at right field, Will. I did that all through the game, and I was really, really loud for him. But after the game, we got to meet Dalton Varsho. He was hanging out, probably talking to his family just like Finnegan. And then he signed autographs for all the fans that were waiting for him. That included Jordan and me. I got a picture, Jordan got an autograph and a picture, and it was really cool to see a young cat like Varsho understand how important it is to have that relationship with the fans. Now, it was a wonderful weekend of sports, and it felt like everything was getting back to normal. So you better believe I can't wait to run it back to Arizona really soon. Bobblehead comes from the Arizona DiamondBacks, and it was given away May 14th through the 16th of this year to 25,000 fans in attendance. It's of the switch-hitting star Ketel Marte. Now the cool thing about this bobblehead is that there's roughly 12,750 bobbleheads of a right-handed variation and a left-handed variation. Now, the bobblehead itself is made by an unknown manufacturer, but if I had to guess, I'm thinking it's made by Clones Inc. because there's a little detail that's in these bobbleheads that I've seen in many Golden State Warriors bobbleheads. The bobbleheads sit in at 7¼ inches tall. The bases are 2½ inches in diameter, and they have a little bit of a smooth dirt-like texture. The cool thing about the bobblehead is that it has home plate raised, and you see the chalk line for the battered boxes in the respective batting stance. Now, on both bobbleheads, the logos and the lettering are all water transfer marks. I wish that they would be raised like the name right here on the base. Now, there's two different versions of this bobblehead, and both of them come with baseball bats, of course. This one right here is the right-handed version, and it features the Sedona Red second alternate jersey. Now, there is some detail right here in the helmet that gives you a little bit of a pop. However, this one has really sloppy paint, and it's sort of flat, not glossy like you would see in other bobblehead manufacturers. There's really bad detail on the shin guard and elbow guard, but the face looks really, really good. Now, on the left-handed version, you see the Los Diamondbacks or Los D-Backs jersey, and there's a nice teal color popping off the black jersey. This paint job is slightly better, which is surprising because it comes from the same factory. Now, if I had to guess, this bobblehead is made out of resin because it's light but sturdy at the same time. I was hoping that these bobbleheads would be slightly different, but it's pretty much the same bobblehead flipped to show the left-handed and right-handed batting stance of Ketel Marte. If I was to add this to my collection, which I did, it's really cool to have them right next to each other. So if you collect some variant bobbleheads, as if you're the TVA from the Loki series on Disney Plus, you gotta go out and get these for your collections now. The cool thing is that it was given away the whole entire weekend that I was there. I just didn't make it to the Sunday game. These all-fan giveaways are really special. Even though it drives down the value of the bobblehead, it's still really cool that most fans have an opportunity to wind up with the set. So like I said, go ahead, add it to your collection today. The beer scene in Arizona was pretty good, and we started off the trip at Arizona Wilderness, where I found myself drinking a nice flight of beer and enjoying even better food. Now at the Suns game, I had to go with a Dos Equis lager because they weren't serving from a keg because of everything that was going on with the pandemic. The same thing happened at the DiamondBacks game, and I went with an 805, bringing a little bit of Cali beer out to the Valley of the Sun. Now, after the DiamondBacks game on Sunday, we went to Oro Brewing Company in Mesa, Arizona. I really liked the beer that I had there, and it was a recommended spot from my friends, and they had their Cafe Oro Blonde Coffee Ale. It was well balanced and had a lot of flavor, and I really liked it. And that's coming from a guy that really doesn't like coffee. They also had a tangerine wheat called Trigo Suave that was rather tasty. The beautiful thing about this brewery is that it's a small batch brewery that focuses on high quality, handcrafted ales and lagers. Now, I will definitely recommend this place, especially anybody asking where's the go-to spot to drink. So remember, Oro Brewing Company in Mesa, Arizona. And I look forward to coming out there every time I go back to the Phoenix area. After that, we went and hit up 12 West Brewing Company. They had a full bar, so I had to get down on a tequila sunrise because, let's face it, I'm a tequila guy. I also enjoyed a hazy IPA that hit the spot. Now, before I came back to Cali, I had to find a blonde to take home with me. And that's when we found our featured brewery, Huss Brewing Co. out of Tempe, Arizona. Huss Brewing Co. was founded in 2013 by a husband and wife couple, Jeff and Leah Huss. From slinging beer in an old F-150 to becoming the largest brewing independent family-owned brewery in the state of Arizona. They want to leave a lasting legacy of family brewing, especially for their daughter. And under the Huss umbrella, they have the famous Papago Brewing. It was started by Leah in 2001 and is now grown into a juggernaut in Arizona. The beer that I'm featuring is the Scottsdale Blonde. It's a German-style Kolsch that comes in at 4.7% alcohol by volume. It features German noble hops and has a slight honey-like finish. Let's crack this bad boy open and see if that's true. Now, Huss Brewing, they've won multiple awards, especially at the U.S. Open Beer and the Great American Beer. This one right here won the bronze medal in 2016 at the U.S. Open Beer. I'm getting a floral aroma on it, and it is slightly sweet. So let's definitely see if it does have that honey flavor. The pour is super clear, and it looks like it's slightly carbonated. And in my dugout mug, there's a nice bit of head. So, especially in the German style beer, they say that at least 3 fingers worth of head will help open up the aromas. It's definitely really sweet on the smell. And that's a very pleasant first sip. Now it is really sweet, but I'm not picking up notes of honey at all. But what I am getting is sort of the reminiscence of like flaked maize. So it has an earthy flavor to it, and you can definitely get that hop on the back end. It coats the tongue, leaving a slightly bitter taste at the end, but it does fade away. Yeah, this is a really good beer. I had it while I was out there before bringing it back, so I was definitely intrigued to see if it was because of the surroundings that I really liked it, or if it was a really good blonde ale. Now, the bitterness unit on it, the IBU, comes in at 16, which makes it an all-day drinker, especially in a hot place like Arizona. Now, you know me, the unofficial beer of baseball bobbleheads and brew is the Pyramid Brewing Company Curveball Blonde Ale. I'm getting a little bit of malt in this one. And the body is pretty deep in flavor. Out of all the blondes that I've had on the show, I'm actually going to have to say that this is probably top 3. Now, Curveball, of course, gets the number 1 spot. Almanac and their Kolsch takes the number 2 spot. And previously, from out in Texas, Trinity Forest, they had the 3rd spot up until the Huss Brewing Co. Scottsdale Blonde came in and took the spot. Now, I can see why this beer won a medal, and I hope that they continue to elevate this particular brew. And sometimes they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I believe this beer can be something really special and eventually bring in a gold medal. The more that I sip it, the sweeter it does get. And I do pick up a floral note. So there might be a touch of honey. Now, a lot of people say that honey doesn't have a taste, but it depends on what the pollination of that specific set of bees were. This one could be that they were pollinating some cactus out in the valley. I do pick up that sweetness, and it's actually very pleasant. So this beer in itself is high on the list of the blonde ales that I really enjoy. Now, somewhere down the line, I think I'm going to have to do a battle of the blondes and see if I can find anything that will finally dethrone Pyramid Brewery Curveball as the #1 blonde ale and or Kolsch style ale. This one right now, I'm just going to keep enjoying. So I want to thank everybody for joining us in this episode of Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews. And we're going to get right down to it. For all those that watch to the end of this video, you are eligible to win a $25 gift card to Arizona Desert Glow. You can also win this Isotopes Mariachi de Nuevo Mexico Bobblehead. All you have to do is like Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You also have to like Arizona Desert Glow, and I'll drop all the links in the description. And then subscribe to my channel. The winner will be selected a week from Friday, which will be, I believe, September 7th. Don't forget to hit the like on this video. And we're going to link you up with Huss Brewing Co. and a couple of the other spots that we hit up, like Oro Brewing Co. in Mesa, Arizona. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews.